Good evening. A southern suburbs family says it's disgusted by the treatment of an 86-year-old patient who was shunted into a storage room at the overcrowded Flinders Medical Centre. The grandfather was so upset by how he was treated, he discharged himself only to fall ill again.
Elderly, frail and suffering severe respiratory conditions, this was Bert Justin's makeshift hospital room in an overcrowded Flinders Medical Centre.
It was pretty shocking to see someone cooped up in a little room. Dusty box, I mean, he's got breathing problems. Dust, breathing problems, doesn't really mix all that well.
The 86-year-old Morford Vale man who suffers from emphysema and heart problems spent most of yesterday in a storeroom in Ward D. Becoming so upset, he called his grandson to come and get him.
To see my grandpa the way I did last night, it's just, I'd hate for other people to see their grandparents or loved ones like that sort of thing. So it's pretty sad. He was furious, you know, like there was no talking to him, there was no calming him down.
So furious, he discharged himself last night despite his condition and was then forced to be readmitted to the emergency department by ambulance this morning, where he remains. SA Health today released a statement confirming in periods of high demand, clinicians use all appropriate spaces to treat patients and denying Mr Justin's care was compromised in any way. At the same time Mr Justin was readmitted this morning, the swamped Flinders Medical Centre again experienced ambulance ramping. SA Health confirming 5 patients were forced to wait more than half an hour after arriving by ambulance because there were more than 42 patient arrivals between 10 a.m. and midday.
Alice Monfries is live at Flinders Medical Centre. And Alice, this latest overcrowding controversy comes as our ambulance paramedics are threatening industrial action.
Well, that's right, Brenton. The union says it will get as tough as it has to, and that could include AMBOs walking off the job if SA Health doesn't back down from proposed budget cuts. It met with SA Health this morning to push its case, arguing cuts of almost $8 million will slow response times and could put lives at risk.
If the cuts are followed through, it could blow out response times. It could see some communities that have currently got an ambulance not having an ambulance at all. We think the ambulance service should be quarantined from any budget cuts.
Now, SA Health says the ambulance union will actually get an extra $14 million in its budget, but that, like all other areas within health, it is still expected to find savings and be efficient. Now, it also denied that any cuts would have an impact on frontline services.
We're not cutting frontline services. We continue to invest in ambulance services through the additional paramedics, the additional ambulances and additional ambulance stations.
The ambulance union says it will decide next week whether a stop work meeting is required.
Thank you, Alice.